Hello and welcome to another episode of MightyHigh's World. This is episode 98, and the last episode we built this above me, which is our concrete converter, and it's also linked up to a TNT duper as well, because that's how we actually get rid of the concrete. So the TNT will blow the concrete up via that. Oh, let's have a better view, shall we? There we go. So the TNT will blow it up via that TNT duper there, and then this is so that we can convert the concrete powder into concrete and then push it down with these pistons there until it reaches the blast chamber, and then TNT will be dropped on there. So let's turn this on. I haven't got any concrete that needs doing anymore. I've been using this quite a lot, so I've got quite a lot of concrete in the chest. So if we turn the TNT on, at least, I know that just switched off, but I assure you it's going to be turning on, and you can see the TNT is being duped up there every 16 seconds or so. I'm not entirely sure of the timing, but it's pretty fast to be fair, and then whatever's in the blast radius of the TNT gets blown up. So that's the idea of this farm, and we're pretty much going to continue this idea but with trees and wood as well. So I do actually have a walkthrough on how I've built a tree farm before, but I think there's some improvements that we can make to this, so that'll be pretty interesting to do. And another thing that I would like to do in today's episode is if we fly over here. Alright, so we're next to our iron farm now, and that is something that I need to sort out. I'll most likely be doing that next episode, to be fair, but that's not what I'm on about today. It is the entrance to the actual base, because yes, there's not really one in sight, and all I've got is two holes in the wall by the looks of things, and it's probably a good idea to pretty this up at some point. But yeah, we need to do some kind of entrance, and I was thinking we can do a 3x3 piston door there, so I think that will look pretty cool, and it should fit as well. So that's another thing on today's list. So let's fly back to our blast chamber / concrete converter and start with the tree farm. Alright, so the first thing I've done is I've worked out where I'm actually going to be growing the trees in order for them to get pushed over to the blast chamber. So that's marked out by this piece of dirt here. This is where all the trees are going to be growing. So I'll just place that there, and this is roughly about 11 blocks away from that bit of obsidian there, so that will give it enough time for these actual trees to grow and then get pushed aside, but I'll show you that in a bit. So this is what we've got. The next thing I do need to do is actually go up 6 blocks, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th one, and then I'll get rid of these blocks. This is in order to grow a tree which is roughly about the same size. So if we just get some bone meal on us and grow this tree, it should hopefully grow into one of the small trees, which is what we're looking for. You don't have to do this, I just like doing this just so that you get a sense of direction and scale with this build. So this is a nice small tree here. So now we can actually add our pistons if I was ready. So yeah, so now we can actually place our pistons. So we could probably get rid of this wood now and place our pistons somewhat here. So if we just place 1 or 2, 3, and then 4, and then I do need another one up there, so gonna have to pillar up a bit like that, and the next one goes there. So that's 5 pistons there. So now we need to actually hook this up to a sensor up there. So if I just grab that quickly, we need an observer, not a sensor, but you get the gist. So let's just chuck this up there. Hopefully, I think that's the right way of doing it. Yeah, there. Oh no. No. We need to get rid of that and place it where that block is. So that's going to be annoying, but let's just try and see what we can get up to. Nope. Alright, now we've got our observer in, so now we can get rid of that block, and that's basically the heart of this build. So now what we need to do is we need to hook that observer to these pistons, and we also need to make a piston crusher thing that will crush some of these leaves to get the leaves back, or the saplings back at least. Alright, so I've got the pistons in now, and I'm just starting on doing the redstone for them. So I've done the redstone for the pistons that will move the actual logs to the blast chamber, which is this redstone here. It's literally 2 redstone dust and a repeater, and then I'm leading it into this repeater, which is going to come from that observer there. So as soon as a tree grows, that observer will give a pulse, and then it will come into here at some point, and then it will also power these pistons on the side here, which will crush the leaves and hopefully give us some return on the saplings. So that's what I need to do now. So all I'm going to do is, this should work with redstone there and on the other side. So let's just put some redstone down there, and then put a block there, and then on the top here. This should work hopefully. And then what I could do is, if I don't fall, is we could lead the redstone signal into that. So if I power that block there, it should power all of them, and it doesn't look like it has. Let's just have a look quickly, and no, it's only powered the bottom one. Oops, am I doing something wrong here? Let's try putting a bit of redstone there, and there we go. Oh, it's missed the top ones for some random reason. What? Okay then. So I might need to change this around a bit, so give me a minute. Alright, so a bit of a hiccup, but I've sorted it now. I literally just had to move this redstone a block up, and then the same on the top, so it's slightly different, but that's how the redstone is going to be. And then the same as what we've got with these pistons, I'm going to have these pistons trigger about a tick or two after these pistons trigger, and that's going to happen on both sides. So what I need to do now is add redstone to that side of the pistons, and also connect them up, which shouldn't be too hard to be fair. So let's do that, and I'll show you what and then the only thing we need to do then is get under there and put the bone meal dispenser in place. So let's finish off this and connect it all together. Alright, so it looks like we're halfway there now, because I've put all the redstone in, and I've kind of colour coded it somewhat just so I can recognise the redstone line leading into what piston tape. So we've got the red for these pistons there, and then blue for this one. It looks a bit out of the ordinary, but I'm going to cover this up at some point, and it also helps sometimes for troubleshooting problems if you know where the redstone's going to. So this is working. So if we place the block there, you can see these pistons extend, and so do these ones about a tick or two after. Get rid of that, and the same again. So this should be all that we need to grow the tree. So let's grow a tree, and hopefully it actually does what we want it to. So I'll just sort this place out a bit quickly, and we've got a wandering trader here. Has he got anything? Red sand, maybe, for 4 for 1 emerald. That's not really a good deal though. And cornflower, no. Okay, thank you, but I don't really need your services anymore. Thank you very much. At least I got a head off it, eh? And these guys as well. These guys can go. I got 1 head. I got 2 heads now. Are you gonna give me 1? No. Oh well. I still got a grey llama head, so that's all good. Alright, so I'm up here now. I actually also had to change that observer so the face is pointing down instead, but yeah, that's the only thing I missed and forgot to tell you. So let's grow a tree and see what happens. It might take a while, and I've got my particle effects off as well, so it's probably a good idea to put them on, isn't it? Alright, so yep, and yep, that looked like it did the job. Did we get any saplings off it though? No, we didn't. Okay, fair enough. So let's try another one then, shall we? Second one, and that crushed it as well, and still no saplings. What? Oh, we got a stick down there. Oh, we got... Oh no, that's just me. Still no saplings. Okay, that's a bit odd. From 2, that doesn't seem right. Have they changed this? Oh well, let's try again. It's definitely working as a wood farm, just not really getting many saplings off it. Oh, there's one down there. That's 1 out of 3 so far. It's still not good. Are there any in this chest, possibly? Nope, just junk and concrete. So yeah, don't look like we're going to get a good investment on saplings then by the looks of it, but it still works as a decent wood farm at least. So I'm still going to automate this process anyway. So what we need to do is we need a dispenser in here, dispensing bone meal to this grass block on a clock, and we also need some hoppers so we can actually pick up some of these saplings that drop. So I'm going to go to bed and sort out that mess. Alright, so we've got the redstone for the bone meal in now, and it's basically just this green redstone line here, and it leads into a sticky piston with an observer on it, and then another observer linking into this dispenser here with bone meal in it. So this will start a observer clock which will constantly dispense bone meal, but don't worry about that, because if there's nothing to grow it won't dispense anything, but as soon as we place that down the bone meal gets dispensed and eventually it will grow a tree like that. And that didn't set off the observer, so let's just do that. That might be a problem going into the future, but hopefully it works with this one. Let's just try that again when it does eventually want to give me some goodies, that is. So yeah, let's just put some bone meal in there and place you down there, and hopefully you grow again. Come on, please work. Yay! And again. And again. Oh, that might be push limit in a minute, to be fair with you. And yeah, that's quite a lot of bone meal it's using, to be fair with you. That didn't grow that tree either. So yeah, anyway, so this is working. It could be better, but it's a viable it is a viable thing to use as well. You just got to be careful that you troubleshoot it sometimes, because as you saw there, sometimes these pistons don't go off because that observer doesn't get an update. So that's one thing that does need to be fixed at some point. But another thing is, how am I going to collect all these apples and drops that come off the trees? And you could use hoppers, and that is a good way of using your said hoppers, but also I really don't have many hoppers at all, to be fair with you guys. I literally have 8 in this chest, or not even in this chest, on my bar even. I have 8 hoppers left, so I think I'm going to see if I can come up with a water stream to do that, but if not, I think I'll just leave it as this for now. I'm not entirely sure. And we're back. So I've made a few changes to this, most notably the hopper lines. So we've got 2 hopper lines going in this farm, one for the bone meal going into the dispenser, so we don't have to constantly fill up the dispenser all the time, and also getting to that dispenser can be a bit of a hassle sometimes. So I've moved the observer clock underneath the dispenser in order to put these hoppers in, and I'm hoping these hoppers don't cross paths. I think I've made it so it doesn't. So this hopper line here right above me leads into that dispenser there, as you can see there, and then we've got this observer for the observer clock. So that should be all good, and I don't think that will go into that chest. And then the hoppers on the side of here are for all the saplings and stuff that drop. So I don't think there's anything in this chest so far. No, there isn't, but hopefully we can get some return on the saplings that we're going to be spending on this farm. So I think the only thing to do now is to hook up the TNT dispenser so we can turn it on here as well, I think. So that's one thing I did actually forget. So let's fly up here quickly and see how far we need to get to. So we need to get to this redstone line here and place it all the way down there. So let's do that quickly and then we can test this thing. Alright, so we're pretty much finished with this project now. So if you can see, the new line of redstone is this brown concrete here. So let's go up here and have a look at what we've got. So this is in order to actually turn the TNT duper on. So we need a redstone torch in order to connect it to the same line as the bone meal. So what I've done is I've added a bit of redstone there, then that's going into the redstone torch. So when I flick this lever, that torch turns off and then depowers this redstone, because this redstone is actually keeping the TNT duper from just duping all the time. So that's the reason why we've got that here, because we're powering a hopper up there for the clock, so we're powering a hopper there. So that's why we need this line on. But this should all be working now. So I'm going to run this for a bit. I've got 32 saplings on me, and I don't think there's anything in these chests just yet. Let's just double check that quickly if we can get up here. It's quite a pain to get up here actually, isn't it, thinking about it. So let's go down here. Can we jump up to this chest and check? Yeah, there's nothing in this chest, so I'll fill this with bone meal because I've got some bone blocks here, and then we can test this thing. But I'm going to be testing it in the replay mod. So give me a second to fill this up with bone meal, and then we can start that time lapse. And we're back. So I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, and it was quite interesting. It only took 3 minutes to get rid of 32 saplings, which is pretty good going and pretty fast, to be fair with you. Sometimes you got the odd sapling that didn't want to grow, but this farm seems to be pretty fast. So let's have a look and see how many saplings we got in this chest. There are a few dotted around here, there and everywhere as well, so maybe I haven't got all these hoppers in. Maybe I need to add some around here as well, possibly. But we got 5 saplings there just lying around. What's in this chest? This one here. Oh, 20. 25, an apple and a few sticks. Oh, 2 apples, 3 apples even, and a few sticks. So that's not too bad, but it's not a great return on investment really, is it? So this farm isn't really good for saplings, let's put it that way, but it's good for wood. So let's see how much wood we've got out of that from 3 minutes. We got a stack and 19 from 3 minutes of blowing up wood, which is really good going, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm pretty happy about this farm, so hopefully you guys can follow along on how to build this. But if you don't, then I think I'm going to make a proper tutorial on how to build this, so look forward for that one if nothing else. So let's move on to something else for today's episode then, shall we? Alright, so we're over here near our entrance for our base now, and this place really does need a bit of work. So I was originally planning to do some piston doors here in today's episode, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to have time for that. So the only thing I can really do is make some room for the redstone we are going to be putting in here, and I also need to get rid of the animal poop which is there as well, which has been there for quite a while now, so it's probably a good idea to stay away from that smell, eh? It's probably a bit smelly down there, and that cat's probably the main culprit for most of it as well. So yeah, and then we've got our villagers which need a new home, so that's going to be fun. But I think we can sort that out in the next episode. But for now, since I've got a tiny bit of time left, let's make some room for the redstone down here. And let's do that in the form of a time lapse. end of time lapse, and I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly had a fun time doing that. It's quite fun just to get rid of mounds of dirt and gravel and stuff like that. And yeah, so what we've done is we've basically just cleared out all the dirt and stone that was in front of my base, so we've got enough room to do the redstone, and also we can build our own custom entrance to this as well, which I've had on the cards for ages. I just haven't got round to doing it, but unfortunately I am out of time for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. My name is MightyHigh. If you like this video, then please click the like button, and if you really liked it, then click the subscribe button and ding that bell for further uploads. I've been MightyHigh, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.